Good evening, fellow punchers. The clock on the wall says 8:50 on Tuesday night, day one of Royal Ascot 2023, done and dusted, as is day 8 of my trip around Ireland with Yankee John, done and dusted also. He was in bad old shape this morning. He arrived down. We hadn't agreed a time last night because I went down to the reception or the bar area last night, but I didn't spot him. I went for a walk, and that was after I uploaded this video. It was late. Must be 11 o'clock before it was up, or near it. But I'm back on track again. I got the things sorted. Every day's a school day with me, learning all the time at this crack. But I said to him this morning, he said he was awake from 2 o'clock and he puked his ring up. I said, what happened, Jay? He said he ate food. I said, what did you eat? He said, I don't know. He says, and I said, what happened? And he said, they just burned the shit out of it. So he vomited, he said, and no sleep. So I said, can't you go up and rest for an hour? He says, let's get the fuck out of here. So he wasn't impressed with Derry, but he's very impressed with Belfast. We went on to Bangor, lovely town. He was absolutely delighted that we'd done that. Just by accident, I just headed out of Derry that way. I seen a sign for the Mourne something drive, scenic drive or something. But a beautiful town. I'll be back there again. And then we checked went to the hotel, but there was only one room ready, the Grand Central, at about 1:45. So he got it. He went up and he said he'd slept. So I got my room about 3, and we went looking for some grub. Then difficult to find. We went into 3 or 4 joints, including Witherspoons, but it wasn't what we were looking for on the menu. And we eventually got. It was well worth the wait in Sweet Afton. There used to be a cigarette that I used to see the old fellas smoking years ago. They were a non-tipped cigarette. They were strong, fierce strong, they'd kill a heart. But we had great food there. I went for the fish and chips. I said I'd have it one day this week, and I had it today. He had pork belly. He said it was the best he ever had. He knows his food, and he had a couple of pints of Guinness. And Fibber McGee's is right by within 100 yards of it. So we had 2 pints in Fibber McGee's, and we're back we're back early enough, back about 7, I'd say. So he wants to have the oyster tomorrow night and on to trim. He has shopping to do as well, but he said rather than killing time, he said he might order it duty free and pick it up at the airport. He wants to buy sweaters for friends of his and stuff, but he wouldn't buy them in Conmere the other day, or in round Kerry, where there was plenty of them. But anyway, when he was sick today, I said to him, you might need to lie down in the afternoon. I was thinking of Ascot, you see. So he says, yeah, and I said, if we change the thing, our routine today, it might help you. I said, because I was thinking I'd love to see Ascot. So I did. I seen a lot of the races today. I think I seen them all. The first 3 I was in the hotel watching them on the phone, and we watched a couple then in a pub. Great racing. We nearly got off to a great start. Frankie traded, I think, 1-2 on in Spiral. I was full sure he'd get up, but he didn't. We had a 20-1 place in the second race. Holly gave it a great run, and then same colour, same owner, same trainer. On Bradsill, she got her Group 1 in the next race. We had place on, there was a heap of money for that horse, Buckaroo. So we didn't have a winner, but we sort of cleared ourselves a made a few pound with the places. Law of the Sea ran a great race. He was 14s day before yesterday, or the night before last night. He'll win a race at some point. Anyway, on to tomorrow, day 2. I was looking at them now last night and this morning, and I thought I watched a lot of the videos. The 3 Yankee horses, I just don't think they're as good as horses that came over before from the States. But This I thought was very impressive first time out. It's in the yellow colours there, just hitting the front.
As they approach the final furlong, Rainy Night in Georgia headed now by Beautiful Diamond, who's come through readily to take over the running as they come inside the final furlong, and is showing some good acceleration here to burst clear, and is set to make a very impressive debut. Beautiful Diamond goes on to beat Rainy Night in Georgia, who ran well, then Ziggy's Queen and Miss Showoff. They were never too far away.
I couldn't get anything of value to back each way, and I thought that was the most. Now you never know with 2-year-olds what will improve and what doesn't, but it done it well. It was ready to rock, and it ran very professionally. In the 305, a filly's handicap. I went for an each way horse here. Let's see what price it is. Well, I'll look at it first. Lady Eros for the Gosdens and Oisin Murphy. It went up, it's 88 now, 1 off 80 in Yarmouth. But I thought it done this pretty well. And the horse that was second, United Front, won by 2 lengths next time out to give a bit of substance to the form.
Also is Bling on the Music, now being shaken up. The black cap got a bit of work to do as Lady Eros has come there strongly now in the hands of Oisin Murphy to come and just touch the front. Far side United Front trying to go with her. Behind those under pressure is Kaiser Sose as they head down for the final furlong, and Lady Eros it is who's now pouring it on towards the outside. She leads, United Front giving chase, but Lady Eros, Oisin Murphy has all angles covered in the final furlong. It's a double for Oisin and also for John and Thady Gosden as Lady Eros wins nicely. Second place.
The horse that was second, United Front. Won by a length the next time in Beverley. On to the 340. It's a Group 2. Jumbly is all the money today. I think 3's into 94. It was his first run the last time for Joseph O'Brien after leaving Roger Charlton. Hassan ran in a Group 1 in Longchamp, but was 8th of 50, but only beaten a couple of lengths. But there's a Group 1 horse in it. It won the matron last year. That's Prosperous Voyage, and Frankie stays loyal to it. It's the highest rated as well in the race. It has a lot of form with Inspiral. It was second twice to it in 2021, and then it beat it in the matron stakes last year in Newmarket. It was behind it again in France. But it won the last day, and Frankie rode it the last twice. So the fact that he's staying loyal to it, I'll take it as a hint. You can see it's rated 100 and has been in the treble, the 112 bracket for a while. Jumbly is rated 105, so in a handicap, he'd be getting £7. But ran an Epsom the last day. That's it, second from the left in the pinkish colours.
Rover's going to need a bit of a break between the front pair, if good enough, coming there under Ryan Moore, then Prosperous Voyage and Shara, racing down inside the final furlong now, quite an open race, Random Harvest, Potapova, here's Astral Bow, and here's Prosperous Voyage now, burning down the near side inside the final furlong. Prosperous Voyage on the near side, just getting up, is Prosperous Voyage, and another winner at Epsom for Frankie. Prosperous Voyage.
That's my selection in that, in the 340. In the 420, the Prince of Wales. What a race this promises to be. It's a small field of 6. We have a Yankee Doodle Dandy horse, Kenneth Met Peak since over Classic Causeway. Not a bad nag either. We came across it before. But an out-and-out stayer, well, you have plenty of stayers. You have a Derby winner. Luxembourg is has won nearly at the distance 1, 2, 3 out of 4. It was behind Alpinist in the Prix de l'Arc, but the last day it won in the Curragh, wasn't it? Yeah, Bay Bridge is behind him on the rails.
The leader on straightening from Pisbadale, then Trevance. In a pocket behind them is Bay Bridge, being followed by Lafayette. Last is Vidini, will need a pick up as they race past the two, and it's Luxembourg, the leader from Pisbadale. Bay Bridge has got the break in between those two leaders, and then Lafayette and Trevance is next. Vidini is last, but it's Luxembourg racing inside the final furlong. Here's Bay Bridge on the outside. It's these two, 150 yards to go, and it's Luxembourg on the far side, bursting back into life at the Tennis Halls Gold Cup.
I'm calling it between the two of them again tomorrow, I think. And I'm going for Bay Bridge. Bay Bridge was second in this race last year to State of Rest. We were on the winner, Joseph O'Brien's horse. But it won. It has 2 runs in Ascot. Has been second, and it didn't get a run. We had first run on it with State of Rest, but then it beat Adair on Champions Day last year. That run the last year's third run back after the layoff. I think it's between the two of them if the race pans out the way I think it will, and I'm giving the nod to Bay Bridge. I was a fan of my Prosperous earlier last, but I just don't think it has progressed enough. So that's what I'm on there. In the 5 o'clock, I've suggested or advised, or whatever word you want to use, Astro King already. It was 4th in the race last year. And the reason I'm saying he's right in form, he's about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 7 from the left with the black hat. This was a race that we were on Northern Express, and
shuffled along there in his last year's winner, Cruyff Turn, together there with Point Linus in the blue and yellow. Guido is trying to launch a challenge as well. Northern Express is being produced by Paul Mulrennan behind in the red sleeves and red cap, and on the near side, blue for you, and Danny Tudhope is forging home on the near side rail here in the white cap. Inside the final furlong they come. Croupier on the far side of Point Linus. Croupier by half a late. Point Linus battling. Northern Express being delivered very late, is closing down these two leaders with Astro King. Up towards the line they go. That is tight. That is tight, but I think Croupier just held on tight.
It's the next Michael Stout horse, just after starting its career again with the Kubler Yard. But 8 of the 9 last winners of this has been a 4-year-old, and Astro King is 6th, and there is a 4-year-old. There's a lot of money for Parato. Parato was 5, but there's a horse, a 4-year-old Buick riding for Crisford, Awaal. We backed this in the Lincoln to second to Migration, and it ran a very decent race, I thought, that day. I think this is a shot tomorrow. It's a bigger price, a shot at it each way. They're paying 6 places. I see the Green Bookie, I think, is paying 7 in this. This was in the Lincoln in 1st of April.
In the blue and yellow know it's Almubir
black
shaken
and
up.
orange
And
on the
the near
rails.
side, Awaal is absolutely cruising. Majestic is trying to get into it as well. But it's James Doyle and Awaal who strike the front with just under 2 furlongs left to go. Down the centre, Empire State of Mind. Majestic, Baradar is swinging off the bridle down the centre in the purple colours. They race up towards the final furlong. It's Awaal and Baradar. Great Guardians running on over on the far side. Just 100 yards left to go. Migration from nowhere up the inside rail. Migration beginning to stay on the best. And Migration, the top weight, comes storming through under Benoit de la Sayette and wins the Lincoln.
If Doyle that day had blocked the door, or locked it and blocked it, and not let Migration up there, but the ground was heavy that day and it suited him down to the ground. But there was a lot of money for that day. I think it went off second favourite, didn't it? Beat the favourite fairly handy. 92 second favourite. It ran then in France, but was too long for him. He actually, well, let's have a quick look at it. He was leading at the mile pole. But he didn't stay. He got outstayed. He didn't stay.
So it's Awaal, Theo Bachelot still out in front, being tackled on the inside by Life in Motion as it passed the 400. Certain Lad is in third position, trying to get a run up the inside. There's Prance de Montfort. Hidden Dimples is challenged by Yazuna, but it's Life in Motion past the 200. Here comes Yazuna and Maxime Guillon on the outside. Life in Motion far side, and Yazuna near side. These two battling away. Skeletting is flying home, but is it too late? Life.
It finished last, but it was only beaten a few lengths, right? They'd be my two. I always have two, back two in that. There's 31 declared. There's one out, I think, already. The bookies are paying 6. The green bookie is 7 and Sky 8. There's the two that I'd be on, Astro King. But the big thing you see about him is that a 6-year-old and 8 of the last 9 has been a 4-year-old. On to the which one? What's left? The Queen's Vase. Gregory is a hot favourite there. I came down. This was 7-1. It's into 11-2 and 6s now in places. Owned by the King and Queen. But this race the last time was the Derby trial. It was taken off the turf that time and it was brought to the all-weather. But he didn't get the run of the race and he was back at the back and he was big and awkward coming around the turn. And Wapira, that was second, finished 6th in the Derby. So it's to the fairly decent race.
It's still Regal Empire, Waipiro. Military Order getting a lovely gap there. Regal Empire drifting off the fence, and quick to seize the initiative was William Buick on Military Order, who now kicks for the judge. Military Order from Waipiro going with him, and they are going clear of the others. Laffy into third. Military Order from Waipiro. Waipiro is really making a race of it on the near side. They go neck and neck all the way up to the line. Now Military Order, his stamina kicking in, and he strides away. Oh, he wins well. Military Order wins well. Ears pricked forward from his second Waipiro.
Moore wasn't too busy on him there coming up the stretch, and he was closing. Finished third to suggest that extra 2 furlongs it would be an advantage or a plus. So that's my selection each way in that circle of fire. I had him backed earlier on at 7s. See, he's still there available at 6s, but to 7s with 365, the rest was 6. It's into 5s now. But that's them paying 4 places there. That'd be each. I've no opinion on this. I'll have a look to see can I get any each way angle. And if I do, I'll put it up in the morning. There's one other horse running tomorrow. There's a ladies' handicap hurl in Wexford at 7:28. And there's a bus horse in it. Jump the Shark and Jodie Townend. Gavin Crumble has got her riding that horse tomorrow. We were on it a couple of times, but the ground was too heavy for her the last time. But the fact that typical of well, she went over to England the other day and she won a race. carrying 11-10. Each way bet there at 11-2. Oh, I had a contact from Terry Woods, God bless him, in England, and on Saturday night they raised £2,986, that'd be sterling, and they've still football cards or something to come in, so that's great. So he's absolutely thrilled with the response from passengers on the bus, and some have directly sent money, and I'll be lodging money on Friday. So thanks very much for everything anyway, and bash the bookies over and out.